I know I've been away for pretty much a year and a month or so, and I deeply apologize. Graduated from community college a year ago, and now I'm in a 4-year university, and I'm gonna be taking my summer classes eventually in the next 2 weeks or so. But anyways, hello. It's Lolzy again, and I'm very sorry about the lack of activity, and this channel has practically been dead for quite some time. But now I'm back as a wrestling fan, and I have encountered some weird, dumb, terrible, and disturbing moments that happened in the wrestling scene. These are the shitty moments that I've encountered as a born-again wrestling fan. I'm pretty sure you guys thought that, oh, I'm just gonna be riding on AEW. Well, I will say that AEW was at one point the alternative to WWE because WWE wasn't doing too hot. So people went to AEW and actually enjoyed what they're seeing. I have watched AEW for some time and I am impressed with what I was seeing. Hell, I even went to their shows twice. However, this infamous April 10th, 2024 episode on Dynamite is an exception. I actually didn't see it myself and I'm glad I didn't because people were penning the crap out of it, but also because I had to study finals. But not only people said that the episode was bad, but there was this one scene that actually showed the all-in backstage altercation tape between CM Punk and Jack Perry during a promo with the Young Bucks that apparently correlates with a feud with FTR. What does that have to do with anything? They showed the whole tape, no audio, and see CM Punk and Jack Perry just talking before they started throwing hats at each other. I don't know what they were thinking with that. And Tony, what kind of mileage do you want to get from this? This dude is not in your company anymore. He's already in the other brand and you're trying to give him more shit by putting that out. And what are you gonna get from that? I mean, yeah, by getting attention, but it's not good attention. In fact, it was bad attention. I'm aware this happened over a month ago and I could have made a video about that myself, but this is honestly one of the dumbest moves I have seen from AEW. I find that shit not only unprofessional, but incredibly childish. Whether you like CM Punk or not, this practically proved him right.
I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired. And I work with fucking children.
People have already moved on from that fight anyways, and he's already in a different brand, having a feud with Drew McIntyre, and Tony Khan decided to bring it up out of pettiness. I'm pretty sure who grew up with watching both WWF and WCW would know the whole story. For those of you who don't know who are not wrestling fans, WCW and WWF were just pretty much having a beef, just like the East Coast West Coast rivalry kind of shit, but it's with wrestling. To give a little quick rundown, WWF wasn't really doing too hot during the mid-90s, and WCW was practically the alternative, and people really enjoyed WCW more than WWF for like a couple weeks or more. But then, on the January 4th, 1999 broadcast of Monday Nitro, we get the Fingerpoke of Doom. But really, it's just basically a little backstory. The NWO was split into two factions, Hollywood and Wolfpack, since April of '98. And Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash had a build up when all of a sudden, just take a look. Really? Just a little pokey poke enough to put them on the ground, seriously? To make this matters a little bit pretty bad was that Eric Bischoff told Tony Schiavone what's going on in the WWF. And Tony Schiavone announced that, oh, Mankind is winning the WWF title, don't go watch it. And what do you know? Fans defied and saw Mick Foley win the WWF title from The Rock, thanks to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And that's what led people to watch WWF after that. If that doesn't get any worse, let's talk about this infamous atrocity. Another WCW moment that was just horrid and baffling. Well, this broadcast happened on the April 26, 2000 episode of Thunder. A week prior, David Arquette showed up to promote his film, Ready to Rumble, and he had a match with DDP against Eric Bischoff and Jeff Jarrett. And might I add, DDP was the champion at the time. And the winner gets the belt if someone scores the pinning fall. And what do you know? This fucking happened.
Hey guys, there's a referee. He's over towards Arquette. 1, 2, 3. What the? What's going on here? David Arquette won the world title. David Arquette won the world title.
At this point, this belt doesn't mean anything anymore. It doesn't. Why can't DDP pin Eric Bischoff and retain the belt? At least that would make a lot of sense there. Also, fun fact, David Arquette hated the angle this much that he compensates for that by getting proper training in wrestling and donated to charity to families of deceased wrestlers such as Owen Hart. So at least that counts for something. But if that wasn't bad enough, Vince Russo had that belt as well. Vince Russo is a booker, and that is it. He's never been trained as a wrestler, and that to me was a big slap in the face. 2000 was a disastrous year for the company. As a matter of fact, WCW is basically dying thanks to the stupid acquisition between Time Warner and AOL, which that led to its ultimate downfall in 2001 when it was purchased by, who do you know, Vinnie Mac himself. And to make matters worse, the belt was passed around like a joint 25 times throughout the year of 2000. Like it's just to give a hot potato to them. Now I want to do a little side rant regarding people who have compared Logan Paul's win of the US title to David Arquette winning the belt, which I find it to be very unfair because at least Logan had wrestling experience in high school before going pro. Whereas with David Arquette, he's just simply a wrestling fan. Now, if you ask me about Logan Paul, what do I think of him as a person? I don't like him, but as a wrestler, he is damn talented. And this is pretty much gonna be the only time I would defend this guy. Alright, this one is surrounding TNA. I didn't think I would ever bring up TNA because I never watched it nor heard of it up until when I started watching wrestling again. However, there was this incident that actually caught my eye, which really made me wonder, what were they doing? What were these people doing in the back? And it's not haha kind of moment. I'm talking about Victory Road 2011 when Jeff Hardy and Sting were gonna have a match together for the World Heavyweight Championship. Alright, that doesn't sound too bad. I'm pretty sure it's gonna go just as what the fuck? Yeah, Jeff comes out incredibly drugged and possibly drunk. The match was cut incredibly short, understandably so, because Jeff can't wrestle in that condition. So it leaves no choice but Sting hitting him with the Scorpion Death Drop and pin him, in which the match lasted 88 seconds. Sting looked at him with disappointment. People said that this is BS, and Sting said that he agreed twice. Well, if that wasn't nuts, well, Victory Road was considered to be one of the worst pay-per-views in wrestling history.
That's no good.
Just want to give a quick little rant there because regardless if anybody didn't see Jeff Hardy being away from everybody else doing drugs and drinking alcohol, there is absolutely no excuse for anyone letting him out in that condition. That's just pathetic, unacceptable, and unprofessional. And I hope Jeff Hardy kept his shit together because of what happened in June of 2022 with his DUI arrest. I'm relieved that he didn't kill anybody, and I'm glad that at that time period, nobody has gotten hurt. That could have ended up in a very dire situation, but y'all dumbasses let him out in the ring like everything's alright. Not only does this make Jeff look bad, but it made TNA look bad. Okay, this is honestly gonna get from bad to incredibly worse, I would say. It's not just worse, but just flat out gross. So what happened? WWE was fondly remembered for the Attitude Era, but there were some parts in the Attitude Era that weren't great. And this is one of them. Mark Henry and Mae Young announced their pregnancy on the January 22nd, 2000 broadcast of SmackDown. Then, the February 28th, 2000 broadcast on Monday Night Raw happened when Mae Young was helping Mark Henry and her water broke, apparently. And, she gave birth to a hand.
Yeah, fuck this shit, I'm out. Bye.
I just don't know why the hell is that approved. Vince, you're just nuts in the head. Evidently so. It's just fucking gross. Okay, this one is honestly incredibly worse than Mae Young giving birth to a hand. If girls out here are using birth is bad enough, necrophilia is one of them! Dear God, why? So what happened? So Triple H and Kane had a feud surrounding this girl named Katie Vick, and as it turns out, Katie and Kane were a couple. Alright, that seems fine enough. So one night, Katie was drunk and Kane had to drive her home, I think drunk as well. Unfortunately, Katie died in the car accident, whereas Kane managed to survive with minor injuries, shockingly so. Thus, Triple H accused Kane for murdering his girlfriend. And Triple H made a twisted, sickening narrative by dressing up as Kane, going to a funeral home, and diddled this said Katie. Which, might I add, is a mannequin. But regardless, it's just, it pushed the narrative that there's a dead body in there, and I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm just stunned that this was approved. This is just too freaking insane. Not only that, there was an actual funeral service going on right next door. What the fuck? It's clearly evident that the Attitude Era is wearing down, and Vinnie Mac thinks that necrophilia is the big selling point there.
No! No, it's fucking not!
Of course, people looked back on it in pure disgust. What happened was that they were supposedly gonna have two segments, one that included that and one that doesn't have that. But the didn't have that was never done, was never made. Because Vince McMahon liked what he saw in that segment. You're nuts! You're crazy! This Katie Vick storyline is mostly notable for that particular reason, and it's not good. At all. And that concludes the shitty moments I've encountered as a born-again wrestling fan. It's insane how much I've learned a little quickly now that I freaking, got back into watching two guys just duking it out in the ring and whatnot. But hey, you'll learn a lot of new things every day. Well, toodles!